Please, never accept such gifts, and if you ever have, avoid doing so again. These particular gifts should be shunned, for they attract negative energies into your life. You might think I'm being overly dramatic or superstitious, but kindly listen. These common objects, though received at various times, harbor heavy energies that can bring mourning, lack, and even break relationships if welcomed into your home. By understanding which gifts to avoid and why, you can protect your energy and avoid turbulence in your relationships, finances, and more. It's not about appearing ungrateful but about conscious creation. Over time, the negative imprints from such items will silently compound if you allow their entrance today. Don't learn this lesson the hard way as I did. My dear friends, did you know that over half of all gift-giving results in resentment, obligation, or outright rejection of the gift? The statistics speak for themselves. Gift-giving is filled with landmines despite being done from a place of love. We've all been there, receiving a sweater from grandma that we would never wear, or a kitschy knick-knack we feel compelled to display. In our hearts, we yearn for that nostalgic vision of gift-giving, beautifully wrapped packages filled with thoughtful items that make both the giver and receiver feel cherished. But in reality, gift-giving often misses the mark, strained by expectations and interpretations. The truth is, certain gifts can actually introduce negative energies into our lives, leading to broken relationships, financial loss, grief, and more. Understanding what not to accept and why can help you avoid substantial pain while still appreciating the gesture. As Andheri once said, a gift with a kind countenance is a gift indeed. Today, my goal is to help you recognize which gifts to accept with caution and which ones to graciously refuse. Of all the questionable gifts, knives, scissors, and other sharp implements require your deepest discernment before accepting. According to the 5,000-year-old Chinese philosophy of Feng Shui, sharp objects carry an energy of cutting, division, and separation. They symbolize severing connections in one's material world. Now, you may think a pair of scissors is just a handy tool, but it's essential to understand that Feng Shui views objects as more than just physical items. Everything carries an unseen energy and life force. Historically, sharp objects have been used as weapons and to inflict harm, and energetically, they can unintentionally sever the ties that bind, fraying relationships and attracting loss into your life. I can hear some of you skeptically thinking this sounds far-fetched, but having applied Feng Shui cures to my own home, I've witnessed the turmoil that stemmed from improperly placed sharp objects. After removing a decorative sword from my bedroom, my husband and I stopped having heated arguments every night. Hiding away kitchen knives reduced tension with our teenage children. While it seemingly defies logic, the difference was palpable. The bottom line is that your subconscious holds beliefs you might not even be aware of. As the ancient Chinese knew, objects influence energy flows whether we perceive it or not. So, be extremely mindful about keeping sharp implements out of intimate spaces like bedrooms and living areas. If you must display such items, have them cleansed by a professional to remove any attachment, and avoid using these symbolic gifts in everyday life. You'll prevent much heartache and misfortune, trust me on this. Now, let's talk about handbags and wallets, specifically those in black. I know, black leather carries such allure and luxury, doesn't it? I used to carry a chic black wallet myself. But over time, I noticed a pattern of financial turmoil directly linked to this possession. In color psychology and symbolism, black represents mourning, loss, evil, and death. It's the color we wear during periods of grief. Scientifically, black absorbs all wavelengths of light rather than reflecting anything back, much like a spiritual void or vacuum. When it comes to a wallet, the vessel carrying your wealth and abundance, this color association matters immensely. Placing your money and credit cards into a black wallet every day is akin to drowning your finances in a spiritual black hole. The subconscious message becomes one of lack, where finances fall in and cannot escape. Over time, you may notice bankruptcy, debt, or unexpected expenses draining your accounts almost mysteriously. My own financial health improved dramatically when I replaced my beloved black wallet with a cheerful red one. I can't explain it logically, and you might remain skeptical, but I noticed the shift instantly. Within days, new money-making opportunities came my way, and I increased my income to 6 figures that year. So, if you want to see more financial flow, I invite you to experiment by removing or replacing any black handbags, wallets, jewelry boxes, or other symbolic money vessels that might inadvertently invite destitution. Monitor the changes as you introduce some brightness. You have nothing to lose. We've all heard the phrase, passed down, in reference to handing clothes or jewelry on to others. But with pre-worn items, it's vital to discern what exactly is being passed along energetically. Both clothing and jewelry absorb and emit the energy imprints of those who have worn them before us, which can have real ramifications. Think about your favorite sweater or beloved bracelet. You've likely infused them with experiences, emotions, and memories over the years. This energetic residue remains woven into the fabric and metal long after you remove the item, even if cleaned or polished. Imprints linger. So, when accepting previously owned items, you open yourself up to influences from past wearers, absorbing their mindsets, outcomes, sorrows, ill fortune, or even relationship issues into your energy field and psyche. This brings profound baggage into your sacred inner realms and can disrupt harmony. I invite skeptics to experiment here as well. Notice how you feel when wearing certain gifted or thrift goods. Do arguments or anxiety seem to manifest more often? Does bad luck strike out of the blue? Try removing or replacing such items and monitor the shifts. You'll discover just how powerfully clothing and accessories pass down more than meets the eye. The bottom line is this: the vibrational plane is as real as quantum studies now demonstrate. Everything carries an energetic signature at microscopic levels. So, be extremely selective about pre-worn items allowed into your sphere of influence. Avoid family hand-me-downs if possible. While well-intended, such offerings can covertly transmit unwanted dynamics into your future, a psychic inheritance you do not want to receive. Handle with utmost care. As we move into the final problematic gift category, I invite you to expand your mind further as we discuss ancient relics and antique offerings. I know how alluring such items can be, infused with nostalgia, legacy, and a sense of history. But tread carefully, my friends. Old objects tend to harbor extremely heavy energies accumulated over decades or even centuries. Feng Shui teaches that objects witnessing intense emotions, relationships, intentions, or events absorb and record those energy patterns into their makeup at an imperceptible level. Over time, these impressions become stronger and more turbulent as new owners add their psychic layers. Imagine an antique wedding ring or vanity set passed through generations of brides. How many hopes, dreams, arguments, infidelities, even divorces, and deaths has it witnessed? As the current bearer, you inherit all that emotional residue whether you perceive it or not. This applies to furniture, decor, instruments, anything with profound personal history. Unless effectively cleansed, such items bring a deluge of psychic inheritance into your sacred space and psyche when welcomed in. I cannot emphasize enough how cautiously you should approach relic gifting. If you must accept out of obligation, immediately smudge with sage or soak in salt water under sunlight. Establish firm boundaries around the object's presence by containing it to one unused area rather than allowing its influence to spread. monitor closely how you feel in its presence. Some energy cannot be cleared completely, and in those cases, you may need to politely decline rather than jeopardize the sanctity of your inner realms. Tactful refusal takes practice but proves essential for self-preservation. So, by now, I hope I've convinced you to proceed cautiously when it comes to knife sets, dark wallets, heirloom jewelry, and antique decor. While often well-intentioned, these gifts introduce potentially turbulent energies. What's the best way to handle receiving such offerings? Here are some gentle tips. First and foremost, listen to your intuition in the moment one of these gifts is presented. You'll sense an energetic discord or unease subtly encouraging you to decline politely. Go with that. Explain how you adhere to certain spiritual principles or positive symbolic systems in your spaces. Most will understand. If you must accept out of obligation, immediately cleanse the gift by methods like smudging, salting, or moon charging. Contain it to spaces of little emotional importance like garages, basements, or sheds, rather than internally focused rooms. This limits its influence. Should the gift giver question why the item isn't prominently displayed, gently reinforce your right to curate your environment according to spiritual alignment or mental health. You may choose to regift the item to someone less energetically sensitive if it becomes too burdensome. The key is maintaining composure and firm boundaries rather than seeming unappreciative. Explain the symbolic or energetic mismatch, and if a close loved one offers, openly exchange the gift for something that better suits your needs. This maintains intimacy while preventing energy infiltration. Remember, as spiritual beings inhabiting a human existence, you have full authority over what enters your sacred inner realms. Set this intention clearly, and the universe will honor it through synchronicity and compassion from others. You've got this. As we wrap up this discussion, here are some proactive tips for protecting your energetic boundaries. Regarding gift giving and object influence. Set clear intentions both inwardly and outwardly regarding what types of gifts align with your spirit and values. Communicate styles, motifs, and symbols that feel nourishing versus those you know will disturb your energy. This helps loved ones synchronize gift selections with your needs. Also, cleanse spaces more vigorously during times of heavy gifting like birthdays or holidays. Use sound, fire, water, and intention-based clearing methods to keep energies neutralized. Think singing bowls, bells, drumming, sage, incense, and beyond. Additionally, establish a receiving ritual for new items by immediately washing, charging under sunlight or moonlight, playing cleansing music, or even prayer. This helps transmute lower energies into higher vibrations before crossing your threshold. Finally, trust your intuition and emotions without question when obtaining pre-owned wares or antiquities. If something feels off about a piece, set it outside your home until you can process its influence more closely through meditation. Don't second-guess your inner voice. By taking these small precautions, you can avoid much of the turmoil certain gifted items might otherwise introduce into your world. An ounce of conscious prevention proves worth a pound of cure when ensuring your home aligns energetically with your highest self. Trust yourself.